No, Stan and Dave, Perlita and Bernard and Eloise, there's a group of you that entrusted people to do something. And then when they do it, you guys call them liars, alright, and give them a hard time and destroyed their lives. Point is, Stan, you might not know all the history down there, Perlita and Dave, of what happened. So when you guys do the crybaby fit and tear it all up, Bernard, like I said, they're doing it for the group of you, but really it probably doesn't belong to any of you. Trust me, Red Randy and you guys, it'll eventually go back to where we used to be. We've lived it before. You guys keep disputing it, but trust me, Bernard, I won't be there. And he's gonna keep doing it. Like I said, he's proven it like 4 or 5 times. I mean, they're getting that good at it. But eventually, Bernard, that's what consciousness is. So, David, you've already done stole a bit of the kids. What if they're not called that? What if your names are not even close to what you think they are? They have more of an extensive amount of knowledge, David. Perlita, Bernard. You guys always come and create problems. They're trying to build something. So all they got to do is hold simple principles. Maybe, like I said, that you guys weren't around for, Dave and Stan and Perlita. So they're going to be able to prove who are the ones that came down and destroyed them. You guys want atheism and Darwin and origin of the species. You want to be careful if you don't know what you're talking about. Because like I said, they're devoted and patient enough. It's doing what, guess what? Our family really was, and he's tried it for multiple times. So trust me, Bernard, they're building your Google stack, but I'm going to tell you, they'll dispute it because they're going to say this certain set. They're kind of already showing you guys like they did the last time. Like I said, Google Girl, Dancing Techno, aspects of what they wear. But like I said, if Brian knows, or that family knows I was killed, right? If that's what that man's premise is based upon, or I was executed, or a fundamental principle, that's all they need. And it keeps doing that. That's what consciousness is. And then he's going to be able to go to each community and go, this one looks right, this one doesn't. This one looks right, based upon you guys' disputes. And eventually, like I said, you guys are getting genesis of in this area of what you really are or what you should have really become, but also the reasons as to why it didn't happen. So there's a group of you that entrusted a family somewhere to do something, and then they do it, but then you guys call them liars and fight them. And I'm telling you, trust me, Perlita, we weren't Negro, we weren't 7-Eleven. You've got people to think something about me that's not true, or a group of people, they think it's funny, and that's all he's going to need is characteristics and personality traits to figure out which ones were bullied, a list of victims, a list of those who committed the crime. Like I said, Perlita, when they start to figure out that they can control and create reality with it while you guys are all messing around, crybaby carnying and country and western, all these things that they know that we once weren't, they'll let you do it. They know you guys are heading in that direction anyway. It's going to take you all longer. So they've already done it. They have the money and time and you know, they can do it, and they get to make fun of you all as you pretend in your carny show, but fully well knowing that it's going to end up, they know that it's going to end up saying something else in the future anyway. That's our process on the earth for this side of the world, or it may have always been. So, see, Robo Knight, he's doing it for all of you. So like he said, he saved you guys' lives once, watched it descend. Now he's trying to bring up the community, but eventually it's going to build it all up that way anyway. Bernard, you're just throwing a fit because you know you don't look like them, and most of you weren't even around yet. So that's all he's got to do. He's got to hold his family, that community, what was actually completed that was a success, what wasn't, based upon events, so on. That's all. Just based upon what some kids saw or that. And he keeps doing it. And like I said, a patient, devoted man, if he loves what he does, and he's got the ability, time, and money, and resources, he'll eventually get what he wants and do his floating super boots. Again, guess what? I won't be there, Bernard. You're claiming to be the teacher, Bernard, and you maybe never were. And that's it. So it depends. If it's Harry or whatever, or Greg, they build it up, but they're looking for something else in their heritage. So like I said, on the other side, they were entrusted maybe to do something, and then they do it. Then you guys come running down Ellery and Bernard, telling them that they're liars and all that. But, you know, they've been doing it longer. So you can say that, Bernard, but I can tell you this. Bernard, you and Ellery never looked like them. And they weren't African Americans grinning and laughing, and they weren't fat 7-Eleven workers. So Red Randy and all that, you guys were a different progressional period. But guess what? If you guys are holding your hero and he knows more than you, and basically every time I appeared, he takes me out and destroys that childhood, he's basically building the same thing, but he's proving, like I said, which those of you who go off of those events, who bully his daughters or his family that destroyed that community, that they're basically rebuilding anyway. So I'm trusting me. Trust me. You guys will get what you want. Reality will be kind of different, but the same. Because Ellery and Bernard, I'm telling you this, that community of people already proved it to you all. You just live in denial and throw a temper tantrum, Bernard, that you don't control or lead it because you weren't even around. But you can claim to be a great scientist if you want, but I can guarantee you this, when he brings that sucker, brings up his stuff, he's going to dispute every single one of you, because he's pretty much done that his entire existence. And he's, like I said, who cares about what your truth and proof is, Bernard, when they can control reality and create it, and have proven it multiple times in a row.